Some say a comet will fall from the sky, followed by meteor showers and tidal waves, followed by fault lines that cannot sit still, followed by millions of dumbfounded dipshits, and some say the end is near. Some say we'll see Armageddon soon. Certainly hope we will. I sure could use a vacation from this stupid shit, stupid shit, stupid shit, stupid shit. One great big festering neon distraction. I've suggestion to keep you all occupied. Learn to swim, learn to swim, learn to swim. 'Cause I'm praying for rain. I'm praying for tidal waves. I wanna see the ground give way. I wanna watch it all go down. Ma, please flush it all away. I wanna see it go right down. I wanna watch it go right in. Watch you flush it all away. Do you want to see how your empire falls? Forgive me. If you want to see how your empire falls, then follow me. Come and see. For I promise you, your empire is falling. And let us begin with this old bullshit. This is Leon Scum. Let me turn the brightness up for a moment here. Again, he's talking shit on the bill for the, I don't know, 6th time in a few days, and he's getting like more and more serious with the, I don't know, allegations, talk. Mob bosses don't like that. When people get uppity, they get real mad. And they want to ruin a motherfucker. And Leon's pushing that line of the Antichrist ruining him. He could do anything to him. He could deport him tomorrow. He could take all his businesses. Who's going to do anything about it? I don't know. So here's Leon again, and don't feel sorry for him. Leon was co-chancellor. He made all this shit happen. He cheered Donnie on. He was his biggest enabler. They were roomies for a while at Mar-a-Lago and then the White House. Don't feel sorry for him. He made this world we are all in right now with his money and power. He assisted the best he could. He shook the man's hand on stage with like this grovelly, snivelly look. He did it all, baby. He preached the gospel of Donnie, the Reich, MAGA. He did it all. He rained fire from the heavens. He still does. So don't feel sorry for him, but let's read this. Hitting the debt ceiling is the only thing that will actually force the government to cut waste and fraud. That's why the debt ceiling legislation exists. No, Leon, you're just pissed because you didn't get your EV tax credits. And you don't give a fuck about saving money or waste, abuse, and fraud. You're one of the biggest wastes, abuses, and frauds I've ever seen. Son. So you don't care about none of that. You were preaching to Reich 2 weeks ago. Now you on the outs, all of a sudden you hate the bill, all this bullshit, just because you didn't get your tax credits. So he don't give a fuck about none of that. It's all an advertisement for, I didn't get my tax credits, so I hate everybody and I hate the Reich now, even though I helped build it. Literally, one of the integral key figures, by the way, co-chancellor a minute ago. So, and Donnie told him, and I got a comment here later on where Donnie straight up told him again, like, I told you, Leon, what I was going to do. I'm not into electric like that. I'm just not that into you and your product. But there's more to this. Someone said to him, and I'm surprised Leon's responded to this, Leon's definitely desperate. Maybe you shouldn't have taken the chainsaw on stage and acted a fool. Maybe you could have gotten more done if you weren't so worried about looking cool. Looking cool. I don't personally think it's cool as you cut aid to third world children and shit that you're waving a chainsaw and you're firing people left and right, that worked hard to get to wherever they were in government, and just fired them like they were nothing. And he celebrated it and laughed about it with a chainsaw. So always remember that's who we're talking about. Also, the Nazi salute on Inauguration Day. That's kind of undeniable. So again, always remember who you're talking about. And Leon responded. Valid point. Millet gave me the chainsaw backstage and I ran with it, but in retrospect, it lacked empathy. But wait a minute, Leon. Before your rise to power of co-chancellor, you said empathy is weakness, like Adolf Hitler would say. You preached that gospel, son. Now you preaching the opposite. It lacked empathy all of a sudden after you were all gacked up on a stage, dressed up like some kind of pseudo thug, waving a fucking chainsaw around, man. What the fuck was that about? Now it lacked empathy. As people, again, we talk about this, you comment, the bots come and tell me to fuck off and all that. This is people's lives, son. People didn't get food because of this thing. People lost their government job because of this thing, as if they were nothing. Had to go to the unemployment line. How would you like to go to the unemployment line, son? You wouldn't. You'd be pretty fucking mad about it, wouldn't you? I bet you would. And you'd have every right to, because how are you supposed to eat and survive? I get it, man. This is what this fucker did as he waved a chainsaw around. And now he comes back after he's on the outs with the Reich. It may have lacked empathy. Really? Or maybe it was downright fucking evil. How about that? 'Cause it was, son. I didn't find it amusing. I didn't think it was cool at all. All I saw was an overprivileged doughboy, I don't even know, apartheid baby, trying to dress like a thug, but they really don't understand how, so they just grab some random shit, waving a fucking chainsaw around. That's all I saw. Someone celebrating people losing their jobs, worrying about how they're going to feed their children, and people actually losing food, farmers losing contracts to grow food. All of that went the fuck away because of Leon's scum. Now it may have lacked empathy. And again, these people celebrated it, Leon did, and they continue to celebrate the evil that they do as if it's good. And a lot of you go along. Again, that phrase comes to mind. I've never seen a greater example of it, except World War II Germany, of, just going along, even though it's evil. Calling evil good and good evil. I've never seen a greater example since that time. Unless you go to like Russia or North Korea or China, where that's normal everyday business. People disappearing off the street for, whatever indiscretion they may have committed. That's where we're at now. There's a reason the motherfuckers wear masks, you know what I'm saying? So I don't feel sorry for Leon, and it's just amazing that this richest man in the world, after he built this Reich with his own fucking hands and money and words, he preached it took more welfare than anyone in mankind. Donnie's really telling the truth when he says that one. I was saying that before him, though. It may have lacked empathy. Picture Leon up on the stage with the chainsaw and the thug glasses. Picture the people that lost their jobs worrying about how they're going to pay their fucking rent or mortgage and feed their children. Because this cunt had an idea for a Reich because he grew up as some kind of fucking Nazi in South Africa. Think about the little children abroad that did not get a meal and died because of this thing. Again, now it may have lacked empathy. That's where we're at. Because he's on the outs with the Reich. So he's trying to come off as human now. I'm not buying it. Senate narrowly passes Trump's policy bill amid GOP divisions. That's the New York Times. Yes, the bill passed. And you saw, like senators walking out in a zombie haze like they just got tricked by some spiritual force to vote for the devil. I'm serious. I've seen these looks on these people's faces, looks you see in movies. Zuckerberg, when these people first took over and they brought Zuckerberg in the office to the principal's office with Stephen Miller, he came out with the gas face. What I'm trying to say is these people are walking around like zombies with like deers in headlights as they preach and do the evil and vote for the evil. Like they don't even know what they're doing or something. Almost as if it's like supernatural or something. I mean, just the fact that a guy tried to overthrow the government literally on international television, and then he got elected president again somehow, that should be strange enough for you. And again, that's what happened with Adolf, too. He tried to overthrow the government. They put him in prison for a little bit. He was a good boy. They let him out. Did it again. Took over everything. The ruin of Germany for decades and decades. Millions died. Across the world, not just in Germany. Anyway, let's continue. Trump calls again for deporting U.S. citizens. The homegrowns we're talking about. We also have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here too, if you want to know the truth, so maybe that'll be the next job. So he's talking about the homegrowns. Again, this is the second time. First he joked about it with a third world dictator from El Salvador that runs a death camp in the Oval Office. Next up is the homegrowns. And then who's next after that, Rubes? You are, of course. That's the way a Reich works. So again, and this I believe took place at the new death camp. I believe this little press conference thing took place. Isn't it great? Flags, you got the MAGA hat, you got the dictator of America, and he's doing a little Q&A at the death camp. That's awesome. And, at the death camp, he's discussing locking up American citizens, or deporting American citizens, like to death camps, like CCOT. So first it was the worst of the illegals. Then it became all illegals immediately. Then it became Home Depots and restaurants. Now we've got a new group being discussed called the homegrowns. I wonder who the next group will be. Again, this ain't just about, a tiny fraction of it is deporting ethnic minorities. That's not the real goal, though. The real goal is subjugation of all of us. And it's pretty fucking obvious. Even for someone that hasn't read the history books. Seems a little off. Death camps in Florida, the president visiting with campaign merch on, doing a press conference. They got to set up like the red carpet for pictures and shit. No? Doesn't bother you. It will, son, it will. Don't worry. Trump threatens to arrest Mamdani. That's the guy running for mayor of New York. I believe he's a Muslim guy, so that's a new thing. And Mayor Adams is the crooked mayor that made the deal with Donnie, so they really don't want to see him go because Donnie has him right in his back pocket. He saved his ass. And Mr. Adams went full MAGA, no problem. Sold you out in a New York minute, son, as they say. Sold you right the fuck out. So this Mamdani guy comes out of nowhere and he's winning shit. The Reich really doesn't like that. They're going to try and ruin him, if not deport him, if not lock him up. Even if he wins some election, I doubt that'll matter. This a Reich, son. Laws don't matter. Judicial rulings don't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. They're just going to subjugate you more and more as time goes by until you wake up with your AK-47 and realize it's too fucking late. They already got that. I've been hornswalloped. Don't worry, you'll come to that realization, especially at the lake. But that's a whole nother thing. Got to keep talking about down here first. So one of the things that Donnie said is a lot of people are saying he's here illegally. So we've already got an allegation from the Fuhrer that Mamdani is here illegally. He actually said that out loud at the death camp in front of people. So I expect Mamdani will be fucked with from this point forward. And, you know, he better watch his step. This is a Reich. The laws do not matter. The Supreme Court told them to bring someone back from deportation, and they just told the Supreme Court to fuck off. And then, you know, then they made the phone call and threatened the families, and now the Supreme Court gave them pretty much carte blanche to do whatever they want. That's where you're at, son. This is Leon again, and he said this after Donnie went on a few rants and posts about Leon deporting him, taking his subsidies away, just letting Leon know, like, I could hurt you very badly, very strongly. So Leon said this: so tempting to escalate this, so tempting, but I will refrain for now. You mean like mentioning Donnie's ties to Epstein? Like that shit that you deleted? I think that's what Leon means. He's holding his tongue a little bit, but he is getting pretty uppity. Donnie's making abject, you know, outright threats. Caesar. And, you know, Leon helped put Caesar there, so I really can't feel sorry for him. But Donnie's crazy enough to deport this motherfucker. Leon better watch his step. See, Leon served his purpose, just like all you marks out there with Donnie that still support him. You served your purpose. You're no longer necessary. Trump on DeSantis's new detention camp. Yeah, Donnie took all kind of questions, you know, right at the camp. Did a nice cheery press conference where he talked about locking up Americans and, you know, people getting eaten by alligators and shit. Totally normal, right, Roops? Trump on DeSantis's new detention camp for migrants. We'd like to see them in many states. Let me say that again. We'd like to see them in many states. So when people run around with their chicken, like a chicken with their head cut off, saying the sky is falling, they want to build concentration camps, son, in this country. That's where the Reich's going. That's why I've been calling it a Reich since day one. Right here. And don't worry, the puppy killer is going to co-sign that. I'm going to read it to you. Don't worry. In a minute, we'll get to it. We'd like to see them in many states, and at some point they might morph into a system. Oh, you mean like Adolf fucking Hitler, a system of concentration camps? Is that what we're fucking talking about? Wow, the Christians and patriots, you're going to put your name on that, huh? The Jews, you're going to put your name on that, huh? That's where we at in 2025, the year of our Lord, huh? Open talk by the Fuhrer, saying, oh yeah, we want them all over the place. We love this. This concentrated. I've never seen him this peppy either. He was loving it. Being in a death camp, in the heat, in the swamp, with the mosquitoes and shit. Like 9 to a cell, man. This is what we're celebrating in this country now. Some of us, anyway. The ones not written in the book of life. Holy fuck, that was quick, son, wasn't it? Death camp up and running, I don't know, 3-4 days and shit. Did your house fall down? Have you gotten your money from FEMA yet to build it back up? No? Oh, but we got a death camp built in like 3 days. Did you know that? So he openly, we're at the point, I don't know, what are we, 5 or 6 months in? It's a fucking blur to me. It felt like this. The rate this evil is going, this chaos, this Satan. I'm sorry, none of you can call yourself a Christian if you're down with this shit. You're just not. If you're down with the Reich. And yes, we in a Reich, they just build a concentration camp. There's going to be soldiers there. And they're going to build more. Any governor that wants to kiss ass and wants to get in now while the getting's good. And Donnie will pay attention to you for 1 day and do a press conference. Hey, maybe you'll get the presidency someday out of it. Like Ron. Like Meatball. We'd like to see them in many states, and at some point they might morph into a system. A system, you say? I don't know. Son, that sounds kind of Hitlery to me. Does it sound Hitlery to you? Mr. Second Amendment patriot out there? Don't do you no good when you just lay it down. When you just put your name on it. You know, all that shit you said the liberals were going to do. As you built your empire on Facebook for like fucking 20 years when it was you, son, it was you. What about you, Dad? What about you? Amazing. We're at the grand opening of a death camp all day. There's a million clips of it. I've got some here because this is the amount of evil done per day by the Reich. Noam, Bondi, this thing, Donnie Shitbags. It's astounding how anyone could still support this at this point. You should have stopped supporting it, like 7 years ago, actually, but especially after he tried to overthrow the government. But this, my God, a tour of a death camp by the president in his MAGA hat in the swamp in Florida as Napoleon DeSantis stands there next to him, finally getting some attention again from Donnie Shitbags. Doing an advertisement for how great the death camp is. Because you know what the idea behind it is? They know we get hurricanes down here. When that hurricane hits, they're all fucking dead. No problem. The Reich, that's what the Reich's looking for. I heard a rumor, son, and there's a lot of people talking about it very strongly. I'm not trying to lend it credence. It's just something I'm hearing, so I'm going to mention it to you. It's not something I want to dig deeply into right now. But I'll be honest with you. It would not surprise me. This isn't like before again. Other people talking about this kind of stuff. This is real this time. They have bad intentions. For all of us, that ain't in the club. And the club's real small. They doing it this time. And no, it wasn't the liberals. I'm sorry to break it to you. And I'm not saying that because I don't like you or don't agree with your ideology. I'm just telling you the writing that's on the fucking wall, son. Whether you like to hear it or not. All three bots that are fucking here. There is this thing going around, and some, people that aren't crackpots are talking about it. The fact that some of these migrant flights out of here are with freight hauling type planes that can open the ramp in flight. There's a rumor that they're dropping people from these to get rid of them. I fucking hope that's not true. I truly do. Would it surprise me? Absolutely not. 'Cause, son, I wouldn't have been here a little before the election, and now I wouldn't be wasting my fucking time if I didn't think it wasn't going there. Getting rid of people. And you know what getting rid of means. I thought it was going there 10 years ago. What I didn't realize, because I'm not God, was that Donnie didn't have the sycophants in place. He tried to get them in place right before January 6th. Did you notice that? Put 3-4 sycophants, key military and cabinet positions in the last 2 weeks of the presidency. We all sat there, what the fuck's he doing? He's leaving. Oh no, Donnie didn't intend to leave, son. And we all watched it on television. So save your dignity, even if you're a bot, and don't debate it. We all watched it. So he already tried this once, and it didn't work because he just didn't have the right amount of sycophants. Mike Pence was key. He said no. The mob could have killed senators and congressmen that day, and other people. Beat the fuck out of police. For you back the blue people. I guess, again, the point I'm trying to make here, because I'm digressing too much. The point I'm trying to make is, yes, I expect it to go to exterminating people. This is a Reich. There is actual Nazi ideology at the top of it. And he's also the antichrist. I don't want him to be. I don't want to be sitting here talking to you. But it's dire. Again, otherwise I wouldn't be fucking doing it. I take no pleasure in thinking, knowing, or calling this person the Antichrist. Doesn't make me feel good at all. Because I know what the Antichrist means. If that thing is real, if he is that thing. It means death, son. Abject death. That doesn't sound good to me. So I don't enjoy this. Although I may laugh sometimes. So yeah, I expect it to go there. Those rumors that people are talking about online, I pray to Jesus they ain't true, but it wouldn't surprise me. And yes, people will be gotten rid of in the future. They ain't opening up death camps for nothing. And Miss Noam and Donnie, they want to open them up in every state. They think every governor should jump on in and participate. That's what you've fucking done to your country. Are you proud of yourself, son? I wouldn't be. Just giving the Reich the keys, baby. I know, because you thought it had to be the liberals. That was the flaw in your thinking. Running with your hate. Letting it blind you. It was you. Hurted by them. Hurted by Vlad. And your bias against whoever. Anyway, let me move on. This is about Medicaid, and again, it's Donnie at the death camp, I believe. Are you saying that the estimated 11.8 million who could lose their coverage, that's all waste, fraud, and abuse? Trump, I'm saying it's going to be a very much smaller number than that, and that number will be waste, fraud, and abuse. Wait a minute, you said no one was going to lose it like 8-9 times in different posts. Now some people are going to lose it. It's not going to be your number, it's going to be a lower number. Okay, this is what the lie is morphed into. What number is that? I'm not seeing a number, but I know it's much less than the number you gave. You don't know. Oh my God, spoken like a true 4-year-old that doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's bullshitting his way through it. Lying his way through it. I'm not seeing a number, but I know it's much less than the number you gave. And again, they use the phrase able-bodied, and the rubes go, they can feel superior and think about someone who's not working, that gets Medicaid. That's health coverage. They're not getting money for that, but whatever, you're idiots. They're able-bodied, so again, that makes you feel superior. You go home feeling good about taking Medicaid away from people. It's a justification for the evil inside you, son. That's why you love the talking points so much. You need them. You lean on them like a crutch. You need them to walk. Otherwise, you'd have to face the fact that you're evil. Don't be evil, and I won't say that. Don't put your name on the right, that does a press conference as if it's the greatest day ever, where they're building a death camp in the middle of the fucking swamp in the Everglades. Laughing about alligators eating people. When did that become good? Oh, since the apocalypse started. Where the sheep would go around calling evil good and good evil. That's when that would happen. So Donnie doesn't know. He doesn't care. It could be your number, his number. It's just a number. I'm grifting here, honey. Work with me. That's what he's trying to say. I don't care how many people lose Medicaid. I'm grifting. That's my money, son. That's what he just said there, in case you didn't know. DeSantis has proposed deputizing the National Guard and using them as immigration judges. That sounds normal, right? Right, Roops? Would you be open to that? Trump, yes, he has my approval. He said more than that, but I'm giving you the gist. Otherwise, we'll be here all fucking night with the amount of evil that was done. Yes, he has my approval. So I don't know what turning a troop or not the National Guard into immigration judges means. I'm sure it's something nefarious and horrible. Why wouldn't it be? He's a fucking antichrist doing a press conference at a fucking death camp. None of this is normal, son, in case you're wondering. Be ye rube, not rube, bot, person who voted for this, not voted for it, someone who doesn't care about politics. None of this is fucking even remotely close to normal, son. In case you're wondering. I followed politics and world events and all kinds of things for decades, man. 30 solid years. I know shit I shouldn't even know. I'm telling you, son, I don't care what side of the aisle, how you identify. None of this is remotely normal. It's not even close. It's so far fucking over the top, the fascism line. It's ridiculous. I'm talking the Hitler fascism line. The worst one. Oh my God. The dollar has its worst start to a year in decades. Again, Donnie's ruining the economy. It's affected what I do. It's affected what a lot of other people do. Some people have lost their jobs, their businesses, their farms. I notice people are holding their money. They are uncertain. They are afraid. I don't blame them. Donnie's a fucking madman running a tariff grift every 3 seconds and ruining trade at a whim, on a whim. Whatever grift, smells good at the moment. Doesn't matter if your business closes or you lose money or customers or lose your farm or whatever. He is grifting, son. He does not care about you, and that's obvious. So I can tell from what I do that people are holding their money because of obvious uncertainty. And the dollar's going down. And would Donnie give a fuck if the dollar went into the shitter? Absolutely not. He needs you desperate. He's going to give you Donnie coin at some point. I promise you. Donnie coin a coming. And they're going to replace that dollar with that shit. And you're going to have to use it if you want to participate. That's most likely where this is going. So Donnie could give 2 fucks about the strength of the US dollar. And I don't know, the chart's kind of showing a steady just down. I don't know about you. That's what I see. And it's affecting all of us, I'm sure. So Donnie's doing great. The grift is going just fine. Donnie again at the death camp table here. Is there an expected time frame that detainees will stay here? Days? Weeks? Month? Yeah, did anyone answer that fucking question? Do you even care out there? Because that's the only question I want answered. I want to hear the Reich. Give me, what is this, permanent? Do they ever get out? They just stay there forever till the hurricane kills them? How does this work? Donnie, how does the concentration camp work? Well, Donnie's old and he has dementia and he's a little slow and he didn't hear the question. So this is what we got. I'm going to spend a lot. This is my home state. I love it. I'll spend a lot of time here. Or maybe he didn't want to answer the question. Because every question he answers, let's be honest, just shows him to be more of a tyrant, more of a beast, more of the antichrist. Not an antichrist, the. And every day I look for something to tell me, show me, you're wrong about the guy. We 5-6 months in, son. We got troops in the streets and there ain't no riots. Active duty Marines and there ain't no riots, son. We got a death camp down in El Salvador. You never leave. A solid percentage of those people have no record in either country. Yet you clapping they locked up for the rest of their life. Boy, you better hope you never get, wrongly accused and locked up for some heinous thing that you didn't do for the rest of your life. That would suck if it happened to you, right? Of course it would. We have a brand new detainment center, concentration camp, whatever, death camp, who knows? Because I know what CCOT is. That's a death camp. You never leave. What's this? What's the one in the next red state going to be? The next red state, the next red state. Concentration camps at the very least. Eventually you run out of space for people though. You run out of money. People get tired of paying for it. And you got grifters at the top. They're going to pocket a lot of the money. So then what do you do? We know the answer to that question. We all know exactly where it's going. And again, Donnie's doing a press conference from a death camp in the Florida swamp and laughing about alligators eating people. So again, Donnie misheard the question, the most important question, the only question I even wanted an answer to, and I couldn't even get it. How long we keeping these people here? I know most of you out there don't give a fuck, but I actually care about that. I care when America gets turned into, the Fourth Reich. It bothers me a little bit. And don't worry, it'll bother you too when they come knocking on your door. And don't worry, they will, I promise. You're not special, son. You're not special. Neither am I. Here's Leon Scum again. Removal of funding for enforcement of federal contempt of court orders is the actual crux of this spending bill. Okay, Leon, how would you know that? And I bet Leon helped plan that little aspect of the bill. And now he's talking shit on it as if he's some random jagoff from the outside that didn't finance this whole thing and wasn't co-chancellor, waving chainsaws around, celebrating kids not eating, farms not getting contracts, and government workers losing their jobs, going on the unemployment line. And everyone knows how much fun that is, right? Leon doesn't know because he's been a spoiled rich kid his whole life. Never had to work a hard day. Could take a break whenever he wanted. You know, to practice his Nazi salute in the mirror or something. This is nominally aimed at removal of illegal immigrants, but obviously also enables many other abuses of power by the president. This is Leon that wrote this, co-chancellor. Boy, he really wants those EV tax credits, doesn't he? Wow, that's a hell of a statement right there. Should this be allowed? Hey, it ain't me saying it, man. It's Leon. Many other abuses of power by the president. All of a sudden, Leon cares about us. Wow. And freedom and democracy. Nah, he just didn't get his EV tax credit, so he's doing whatever damage he can do until he gets his way. That's all. This is Noel Castler, the person that let us all know that Donnie shitbags wears diapers. And, you know, many people have commented on the stench of Donnie shitbags when he's around. I've never gotten close to Donnie shitbags. I worked at one of his casinos many, many years ago. Well bankrupt by now. I saw him walk through the building a couple times from a distance. That's it. Never interacted with him, nothing. So I wouldn't know about the shit smell. That's what I'm trying to say. But Noel would. He's been in close proximity. Trump became positively giddy discussing the possibility of an alligator eating a migrant detainee. In his first term, he wanted to build a moat next to his border wall and fill it with gators and snakes. True story. Yeah, I remember that. That's the guy I know. A sick, twisted predator, true criminal. Oh, he's so much worse than that, Noel. He's the antichrist as well. And I don't want him to be again. I don't feel special saying this to you. This don't do jack shit for me, man. I get, you know, 1,000 bots and fucking go fuck yourself. And, you know, that's what I get for saying this. It's not like a positive in my life, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. But the message must be given. It has to. And it's urgent. And everyone has to get a chance, man. So Noel says he's a true criminal, and Noel, my God, he's so much worse than that, man. Here's Donnie with Gnome and all her extended anorexic glory and a few other people literally standing in front of the cages. Would you like to see? I mean, don't you want to see the chipping away of your empire into a dystopian Fourth Reich? Literally, I'm not being dramatic, son. Isn't that great? Your tax dollars hard at work. Photo ops at death camps in a swamp in MAGA attire. Wow, America's going in a great fucking direction. It doesn't look like the Fourth Reich at all, motherfucker. Not at all. Make sure you get your MAGA hat and your, you know, alligator Auschwitz merch. Don't miss out. What are you going to say when you're at the pearly gates and God says, my son, why did you buy alligator Auschwitz merchandise and wear it proudly? Why did you do that, my son? I wonder what you'll say. I was tricked. I expect that to come out of a lot of people's mouths. But that's not going to work. Because let's be honest, you saw something you liked. I know. I know. You don't have to lie about it. You don't have to do the act that, third time voting for him. I was tricked. How would I have known? Oh, did you see those police getting beat on January 6th as Chris Miller and Donnie and everybody else sat back and ate fucking hot wings? No big deal, right, jerk off? I know. I know. Because, be honest, you saw something you like. You dig this. Alligator Auschwitz. Seacot. I know. The thought of inflicting pain on this group of people. Persecution. It pleases you. I know. Personally, I wouldn't want to have to explain that to the man, though. That might not go well. And you claim to believe in the man, right? You say you're a Christian, you go to church, you're a patriot, you're a God-fearing American, right? Right, son? Yet your name on death camps and shit. What's up with that? Persecuting others, or the Reich persecuting others, that's appealing to you. That's not good. You're calling good evil and evil good. That's not good. Here we go. Trump stands in front of actual cages at alligator Auschwitz and calls Biden a son of a bitch. Most of the people ISIS grabbing have no criminal convictions. This is the poster talking, and that's true. They're going to Home Depots and shit. That's what Miller wanted them to do. It ain't about criminal records. It ain't about the worst of the worst. It never was. It's just a way to get to you. That's all. The price tag on this is $450 million yearly to his private prison pals. Yes, I read somewhere it would cost a bit over $1 million a day would be going to this complex of tents and misery. Of your money. Here's a random poster, and I thought the same thing, and I know a lot of you out there thought the same thing. You ready? I always thought the Antichrist would be younger, smarter, better looking than this sad old asshole. Instead, we got the Timu Antichrist. Yes, I think a lot of us out there, I definitely thought that for some period of time, that the Antichrist would be more of a person like Trudeau or Obama, and not their ideology, their looks. You know, they're in shape, they're good looking guys to a lot of people. Nice clothes, good orator. Trudeau was excellent, I think. Carney's excellent. Obama was excellent. Bill Clinton was excellent. Donnie is not. George Bush was not. There was a lot of was nots. But we got this guy who can't string a few sentences together, has dementia moments every 3 seconds, wears orange face paint, is obese, wears lifts in his shoes, shits himself, barely moving, eats McDonald's. And that's who the Antichrist picks. I've said this to people a few times. I didn't see that coming. You think of the suave, debonair, someone that can sway million, like Joel Osteen's a good example, in my opinion. He's the perfect example. But, Joe got money in the walls and shit. I don't know what that's about, but it don't sound legitimate. And he rides around in Porsches and lives in mansions and shit like that. So that's a whole nother thing. But you would think it would be someone like Joel Osteen, Trudeau, Obama, someone that can get up at a podium and really inspire people and speak well. And, again, is attractive to a lot of people, the opposite sex. You would think. No, it's Donnie Shitbags. Let me read this one more time and I'll move the fuck on. I always thought the Antichrist would be younger, smarter, and better looking than this sad old asshole. Instead, we got the Timu Antichrist. Yeah, the devil couldn't have picked better? I guess not. You needed someone as crooked as Donnie, and, that comes in that package, I guess. Because I've never seen anyone as crooked as Donnie except for maybe Vlad Putin in the modern era. Nixon, I guess, was the next step down of crookedness. Because Nixon was pure crooked, man. Donnie's another rung up. Nixon wasn't the fucking Antichrist, though. We know that. Donnie is. So he's another rung or a few rungs up the ladder of crooked, as if that's possible. Because Nixon was a crooked motherfucker, man. So here's DeSantis and Donnie sitting at the, bedecked death camp press conference. Look at the flags and symbols and merchandise, and DeSantis Meatball sitting all the way over there and shit. Let's hear how it went. We will finish that reservoir if you delegate that to us, because we move faster than the Army Corps. Trump, I would do that. Let me ask myself permission. Permission granted. Go ahead and get it complete. And, people laughed at the Antichrist asking himself for permission. Because, that's funny, as we have, again, troops on the street, death camps, and he's literally at the new death camp, financed by you. And then DeSantis says, all right, we're going to go talk to the Army Corps after this. So everyone had a big laugh at the death camp that's going to have 9 to a cage in the Florida fucking heat. That's where we at in the Reich, where Meatball and Donnie joke about building some reservoir. I wonder what that's for. This is Donnie, a post to Leon. Like, you knew I was a snake before you let me in, Leon. I told you. You knew I wasn't about electric cars. You knew I was a coal man. They paying me. You knew I was an oil man. They paying me. So I don't like electric cars. Anyway, Leon Scum knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president. He's got to throw strongly in there. That I was strongly against the EV mandate. Damn, he used strongly twice in one sentence. That's impressive, Donnie. It is ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. Leon may get more subsidy than any human being in history. This is current, son. This isn't old. He said this before. I want to read that part again because that's Donnie for once telling the truth, and it's only to damage another human being. That's the only reason he's doing it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing it. Elon may get more subsidy than any human being in history by far, and without subsidies, Leon would probably have to close up shop and head back to South Africa. Indeed, son. That's why I and others been saying for a long time, take this man's contracts, his clearances, take the welfare away, send him home. Because he's a traitor to this nation that made him fucking rich, that gave him welfare handout after welfare fucking handout. And just like Donnie says, for once he's telling the truth, only to damage another person, a huge rival of his at the moment. Without the welfare, son, and that goes for Thale too, they'd be nothing. Nothing. Donnie, that's basically what he's saying. Without the handouts from me, because I'm the federal government now, you ain't shit, Leon, and everyone knows it. So you best keep your mouth shut. That's what Donnie's saying. And he also said during the day, you know, they brought up deportation. Donnie's like, yeah, we could take a look at that. You're dealing with the beast, son. You can't leash the beast, even if your name is Leon Scum, baby. Isn't that amazing? I think it's fucking incredible. So where were we in this bullshit? Leon may get more welfare than any human being in history by far, and without welfare, Leon would probably have to close up shop and head back home to South Africa. I added the welfare. Donnie didn't write that. Close up shop and head back to South Africa. Wow, that's pretty strong, Leon. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production, and our country would save a fortune. I've also been saying that for a long time, and so have a lot of other people. Stop giving welfare to Leon. It would save us, you know, billions. How many contracts did he get in the first 4 months? Take them contracts away. Fire Doge, too. Get rid of them. But Donnie's going to sick Doge on Leon, which is amazing. Donnie making all the threats here, all the things we suggested over the years, because we saw what this guy was. Donnie threatened to take his fucking welfare away. Without it, Leon is done. Done. The irony of this. You helped create the beast, son. You helped make him Caesar. You were integral. You were co-chancellor. Fuck you. You deserve every fucking second of this. And if he deports your bitch ass, you deserve that too. Because I know, Leon, you're down with these concentration camps as well. This was all, you know, part of your plan as well. You're just as racist as Donnie is. And it's fucking obvious by the Nazi salute, son. You don't have to speak a word. Where was I? Yeah, no more rockets, satellites, electric cars. We'd save a fortune as a government. We're all, you know, about cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, right, Leon? Perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard look at this. Wouldn't it be ironic, son? Do you hear me? The Doge thing that Leon did and laughed about gave sociopaths straight out of high school that protect pedophiles online jobs with, you know, 6-figure fucking salaries on your dime, son. To ruin people's lives, ruin programs, steal all the information, install AI and backdoors, give the Russians the fucking passwords, steal money, fire people en masse via AI, then hire them back, then fire them again, then hire some back. Take food out of third world children's fucking mouths that we were feeding. And Leon, every other phrase out of his mouth, Donnie's mouth, the Reich's mouth, we're cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. That justifies the evil. All the rubes can sleep well at night. It helps them sleep. You made this monster, son. And motherfuckers like me been yelling for 10 years about this monster. You joined up with him. You made him. So reap the fucking whirlwind, son. One more time. Perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard look at this. Big money to be saved. Perhaps we should, right, Leon? Leon, you're preaching the gospel of get rid of waste, fraud, and abuse. That's all you're doing. That's how you sleep at night, as you take food out of people's fucking mouths and take their livelihood away. Donnie wants to do it to you now. What's the problem? You had no problem doing it to so many others. Let's move forward with this. I mean, I'm starting to see the wisdom in the Reich's philosophy. In your philosophy, Leon, cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. And again, what is more of a waste of fraud and an abuser than you or Donnie? And, you know, you guys, anyone on welfare, anyone that complains about people losing welfare or Social Security, they're parasites, right, Leon? But what about you and Pete? Greasy Pete. Every 5 minutes, you got your hand out for more welfare from the taxpayer. What about that? What's up with that? I thought you guys were entrepreneurs, like pull yourself up by the bootstraps kind of guys. That's what you preach, son. You don't preach that you made it off of government welfare, government cheese all this time, you and Petey Thale. You preach that you're a success. And that was because of your, you know, manliness and wondrousness and genius. When it was really just, maybe you had a few connections to the CIA and they dumped millions and billions of dollars in your lap. Perhaps that's why you were I don't know, what do they call it? A success, Leon. Donnie wants to take it away. Keep running your mouth. We'll see what happens. I'm amazed by this. Again, the false prophet served his purpose. He preached the gospel. He financed Donnie, kept him out of jail. He used the greatest, he bought, took over with Vlad Putin and others, the greatest text website in modern humanity called Twitter. Used it at his personal pulpit for MAGA and MAGA ideology and Donnie. He made this. Wouldn't it be ironic, and Doge especially, oh my God, wouldn't it be ironic if the monster would eat Leon that he created, called Doge, called Donnie, called the Beast, called the Antichrist? Wouldn't that be fucking ironic, just like Alanis Morissette says? That would just be cosmic fucking karma, wouldn't it? The man who preached the gospel of fuck you, starve gets a taste of that. A guy who probably owes the Russian mob, by the way. Got to be real careful with those fellas. Throw you out a goddamn window. Right, Leon? Be careful, Donnie. Going to deport you. He's going to sick the monster that you created on you called Doge. Take the welfare away. Oof. Trump says he'll look at deporting Musk as feud reignites. This was a different interview at a different point in the day. Trump says he'll look at deporting Leon Scum as feud reignites. The feud between Elon Musk and Trump heated up again Tuesday after the billionaire slammed Republicans over the president's spending bill. Yes, someone brought up the deportation, and Donnie's like, yeah, we could look at that, yeah. Uh-oh, Leon. All that shit you preached, all that shit you wrote down for years, this whole big plan that you and Thale and the Nazis and people like Donnie are happy to join in. Isn't it ironic it might come back to bite you in the ass? You specifically? That's incredible, man. I've never seen karma like this, but again, crazy guys like me, crazy starving motherfuckers, have been preaching for years. You cannot put a leash on the beast. Donnie's the beast. That's why the monster that you created might bite your head off. Might bite Vlad's head off at some point too. I expect that to happen. Burns every bridge. Throws everyone under the bus. It's amazing. I've never seen an evil entity of chaos that just throws every single person in their orbit under the bus at some point. Again, remember where we were the first, 4 months of this. Leon was co-chancellor doing his best Nazi impression without wearing the actual Nazi uniform. I know exactly what he was trying to do. In every picture with Donnie in the White House with his kid running around in the Oval Office giving, TED Talks in the Oval. while Donnie sits there like a jerk off. Do you remember that? That's where we were. Now we're at, well, maybe I'll put Doge on Leon. Maybe I'll deport him. Maybe I'll take his welfare away, because without it, he's done. He'd have to pack up and go back to South Africa. Again, the false prophets served their purpose. They rained fire from the heavens in the sight of men over and over. They preached the gospel of Donnie. They financed him, helped him get in. He became co-chancellor. He made his move to become Caesar when Donnie, told him to fuck off. That was a move Leon made. He's making another move now. He's being a little more tepid about it, but it may get worse. That was a legit move by that faction, Leon, Thale, and JD, to take Donnie out. The Epstein stuff didn't work. Now Leon's getting pissed again. Again, I told you they're the same entity. They both want to be in charge. We had a president and a co-chancellor at one time. No room in the room for both of those egos that both want to run the world. Both think they're God. Both think they're Caesar. That's why Donnie's Beast 1 class and Leon's Beast 2. They're the same entity. Leon has served his purpose. He has preached the gospel he had to preach. Now it's in motion. And it may eat Leon on the way. Leon's a great example, Rubes, when I yell over and over again that this is going to come to everyone's door. No one's immune. Leon is a great example. He was co-chancellor. Who the fuck are you? Nobody. So if it can come to Leon's doorstep, the Frankenstein monster, Nazi monster that he created, this antichrist beast system we're in right now, if it can go after him with its teeth out, imagine what it can do to you. Oh my God. You're just insignificant. You're not the richest man in the world. You weren't co-chancellor. You didn't write part of the handbook of this dystopian nightmare takeover, Satanist takeover. Leon did. So imagine what they'll do to you when that knock comes to your door. My God. Here's another post by Donnie. Almost all of our great Republicans in the United States Senate have passed our one big beautiful bill. It is no longer a House bill or a Senate bill. It's everyone's bill. There is so much to be proud of. Everyone got a major policy win. But the biggest winner of them all will be the American people, who will have permanently lower taxes, higher wages, and take-home pay, secure borders, and stronger and a more powerful military. Additionally, this is the important part, Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security benefits are not being cut, but are being strengthened and protected from the radical and destructive Democrats by eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse from those programs. There's that phrase again, Rubes, that works on you every time. Donnie's given about 19 different versions of what's going to happen to Medicaid. In this version, nothing. In fact, it'll be strengthened. And it was the evil Democrats that wanted to take the social program from you. You don't even believe that, yet you'll go along. Why? Because they said waste, fraud, and abuse. They gave you a talking point to justify the evil within you. You can sleep at night now. But it's still evil, son. It's not that easy, I'm sorry. Calling evil waste, fraud, and abuse as a justification. Still evil. This is Gavin Newsom talking about the bill that passed. J.D. Vance is the ultimate reason why 17 million Americans will lose their health care. Yep, J.D. was the tie-breaking vote. So when you lose your Medicaid, Rube in the trailer, and you will, don't worry, they grifted here. Donnie Grifton. He don't give a fuck about you. You nothing. When you lose the Medicaid or whatever, maybe your welfare gets cut down to $5 a day. Who the fuck knows? Remember who cast the tie-breaking vote? That was the couch fucker. Peter Thiel's bitch. J.D. Vance. Remember that name when that day comes and the Reich knocks on your door and you all of a sudden get a letter. Mr. Smith, I'm very sorry. You're an able-bodied whatever. We're no longer going to provide you with Medicaid. Or maybe you go to the doctor needing something done and the doctor tells you to fuck off. You don't have Medicaid anymore. Who knows? The Reich doesn't give a fuck. Good luck out there. Enjoy, and thank you for your attention to this matter. This is Ron Filipkowski. Imagine if Joe Biden was posting pitch videos selling cologne while threatening his biggest supporter with deportation. Oh, never mind, why bother? Indeed. What if Joe Biden opened up a new death camp, used your money to do it? Over $1 million a day it's going to cost to run. With troops and alligators and snakes and detention cages. What would the Rube say, class? The Rube would say, the evil liberals are about to lock us up in the Walmarts, in a detention camp down in the Everglades. That's what they would say. Funny, I'm saying a version of that, but in the opposite. They about to lock us all up at some point. Anyone that, they feel it's necessary. Rights, laws, judges be damned. That's over. Been over. So yeah, this isn't normal. Hawking cologne from the White House ain't normal. That's a grift, son. Literally why certain things were written into the Constitution regarding presidents. Donnie exemplifies it all. Every nightmare that was ever had. The pure grifter who cares about nothing but the grift and what he can grab for himself being president. And then beholden to a foreign entity like Vlad on top of it, our main enemy since 1945. Oh my God. He's the trifecta of nightmares, scenarios for this country. That's why our country is over. So yeah, we're so far over the line of normalcy, and the Rubes and the rest, we just go along with how crazy that the guy's hawking cologne. He's charging you to fix up the bribe plane he got from Qatar. And Rubes, if it's not a bribe, why is he taking it with him when he leaves? Oh, wait a minute, it's going to the Trump library, right, asshole? No, it isn't. Why not leave it to be Air Force One? I thought that was its purpose. I thought it wasn't a personal gift. Why not leave it for the next president? Oh, there's never going to be one of those, I know that. But why not fake the funk and just say you're leaving it to the next president? You know you're never leaving. Got to let everyone know that it's a personal gift to him and that he's keeping it. And again, it's going to cost you $1.5 billion to $2.5 billion is my estimate, my personal estimate. $1.5 billion is just in that bill that they just passed. So you get the privilege of fixing up the Sky Mansion bribe plane from Qatar. Isn't that great? What happened to waste, fraud, and abuse? That don't matter no more. So imagine Biden down at the death camp. I know what every one of you conspiratorial motherfuckers would say. The liberals about to lock us up. That's what that death camp's for. That's not for illegals. They want to lock up the patriots, the God-fearing Christian patriots of this nation. Right? Nope, you were just a hand of Satan this whole time. Did you know that? If your name's on this. Not talking to everybody. So yeah, we know what you'd be saying if Biden was at the death camp. It wouldn't be a good thing no more. Which means you stand for nothing, you believe in nothing. You're just going along like a zombie. Playing team sports. Bannon wants to nationalize SpaceX. Yeah, Bannon's been talking shit on Leon for a while, and Leon said, because he thinks he's Caesar of the world, that's what he wants to be, just like Donnie. But Donnie has a blessing. Bannon is going back to prison, this time for a long time. That's Leon saying that, not Donnie the Antichrist, who you would expect to say that. Leon saying that. Wow, talking about big time MAGA Bannon going back to prison for a long time, as if he is president or something. Here's Donnie again in a different interview. This isn't the one at the death camp, I don't think. Trump laughs about immigrants, most with no criminal records, getting eaten by alligators if they escape alligator Alcatraz. 450 million per year for this cruelty. Indeed, over $1 million a day it's going to cost. That's the estimate I saw. Your money. So Donnie don't care. Neither does Ron. Meatball. And Donnie basically said here, because I watched the clip, he talked about, yeah, if they do escape, they're going to have to run through alligators. And, you know, don't run straight, run like this. And he made a joke about it. Again, the antichrist joking about people in this country right now being eaten by alligators. And remember, Donnie talked about the homegrowns with Bukele. Donnie talked about deporting U.S. citizens again today at the death camp. Again, I don't know, when is it normal and not of Satan to laugh about humans being rounded up by masked men with machine guns and sent to a camp in the swamp in the Everglades and eaten by alligators? When did that become okay? When did that become good, righteous, of God, of Christ? When? Rubes, I'm asking you. Oh, that's right, never. That's why if your name's on this, you can't be a Christian. Your name's on the Antichrist. Whether you believe that or not is irrelevant. And your name's on death camps. Your name's on jokes about people being eaten by alligators. I don't think Christ would be about that. And if you do, you're just wrong. Christ isn't about guns either. At all whatsoever. Just in case you were wondering. Again, in the same outside interview, I got a little more text about Leon, because they asked him about that too. A reporter, are you going to deport Elon Musk? We'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? The monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, also known as welfare. Your money, socialism, handouts. He gets a lot of subsidy. I got to read this again because this is fascinating to me. We'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know what Doge is? The monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of welfare. Again, the title to this video, I'm not trying to stir up trouble here. I just took what Donnie said. I condensed it a little bit. The monster that might eat Elon. But Donnie actually said, let me be very clear. I don't want you to think I was misquoting Donnie shitbags. The monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. So in other words, the monster that Leon created, left about, preached, celebrated as it ruined people's lives, might come back and eat Leon. Wouldn't that be cosmic karma? I mean, my God, could it be any more perfect? You have the Antichrist threatening to sick Frankenstein, the Frankenstein that Leon literally created. He handpicked these fucking sociopaths he gave jobs to for Doge. Handpicked. And they might come for him now. Via Donnie shitbags. All he has to do is give the order. And it's all over. Wow, the monster that might have to go back and eat Leon. Can you believe we're here? It may surprise you that he threw the false prophet under the bus, co-chancellor under the bus. It doesn't surprise me at fucking all. I knew these things would happen. What does surprise me is how quick. My God. This a beast. And he dangerous to the whole fucking planet. I don't care who you are. This is them standing in front of the cages again, Donnie and Noam and a few other people. Isn't it great? Beautiful photo op. In front of the cages that are going to house people in a swamp. Beautiful. America, again, going really in a great direction. Here's another question for Donnie. He's standing next to DeSantis here, so this must be when he arrived at the death camp location. It looks like this. Of course, he's got the merch on, true professionalism as president, true, bipartisan, nonpartisan image. Are you concerned that Republicans are going to be swayed by Leon Scum and his money? I think what's going to happen is Doge is going to look at Musk. And if Doge looks at Musk, we're going to save a fortune. I don't think he should be playing that game with me. Damn, Leon, again, that's the Antichrist for like the 9th time saying he's going to do something to you. Turn your Frankenstein on you, Leon. Aren't you so happy you created Doge, Leon? Now, Donnie might actually use that literal agency. Those sociopaths you groomed, you handpicked, might take your welfare away. My God, that's fascinating. I have a feeling when you all wake up tomorrow and start looking at the news and stuff, I bet Leon has a whole new attitude. I have a feeling. And here's Ron Filipkowski with an excellent point. Did Musk not realize he was just paying to keep Trump out of prison? Yeah. Do you marks out there who have your name on this, that believe in all this? Did you know you were just a mark? You didn't know that? He don't need you no more. Leon's a great example. He was co-chancellor again. Who the fuck are you? You're nobody. So if he can throw co-chancellor Leon Scum under the bus, he can throw every one of you rubes under the bus. He has in many ways. Did Musk not realize he was just paying to keep Trump out of prison? Yes. Did the whole world not realize Trump is purely transactional? Has no real relationship with any human being. Purely transactional. That applies to you, the random peasant rube out there as well. Do you know that? You should by now, because enough people have been yelling it for 10 fucking years. You're going to learn that lesson the hard way. The Reich is going to learn you that lesson. Already done it for some of you. So yeah, Leon, again, this is the beast, the Antichrist. He just uses people to get where he needs to be. That's it. You've served your purpose. You got uppity. You're out. For now. I'm sure you'll weasel your way back in. You are the false prophet after all. Here's Donnie with some post on his True Social thing today. Because of violence and criminality I've seen due to the open border policy of Sleepy Joe Biden, in particular allowing millions of people into our country who shouldn't be here, I wanted something representative to show how we fight back. And then it happened. This is the Antichrist having an epiphany, by the way. I saw a picture of Alcatraz looking so foreboding, and me and Satan said, man, that's beautiful. I added that. And I said, we're going to look into... He put that in quotes, this part, because, he's got to quote something he formerly said. That's important. We're going to look into renovating and rebuilding the famous Alcatraz prison sitting high on the bay, surrounded by sharks. Donnie really digs the fact, obviously, that some dangerous wildlife may kill people. In the death camps he opens. Yeah, he's the Antichrist. Really? And your name's on it. I'd get it off. Real quick. What a symbol it is and will be. That's with an exclamation point. That's all a quote. He quoted himself. Of course. Who else would he quote? Conceptual work started 6 months ago, and various prison development firms are looking at doing it with us. Still a little early, but lots of promise, with an exclamation point. Your money's going to pay for that. Really worthwhile, right? How's your mortgage doing? How's your rent doing? How's your house that fell down because of the hurricane or whatever, tornado, whatever? How's it doing? Oh, well, we're going to put, 18 billion into Alcatraz to fix it up. Because the 4-year-old antichrist wants to. He thinks it's beautiful. Thinking of the sharks swimming around it, people dying. And, he's had conceptual work done. He's had firms taking a look at it. On your dime, of course, I'm sure. And then you'll pay for refurbishing it. Just like you're going to pay for his bride plane. Just like you paid for the death camp in Florida. Just like you paid for the death camp in Secot, or in El Salvador, excuse me. Sure seems like there's a lot of money to go around. Oh, Miss Gnome, the puppy killer, she asked for a new plane for $50 million too, because she doesn't like her old one. So I wouldn't be too comfortable in your bed whispering to yourself waste, fraud, and abuse as an excuse to help you sleep for the evil you have your name on for taking health care away from people. Because there sure seems to be a lot of money to go around for death camps in foreign countries here, Alcatraz, bride plane. A lot of money going around. Contracts being thrown to Leon and Thale every 5 seconds. Altman. Sure, there's no kickbacks there, right? Right, guys? I know you would never do that. This is what the president, in quotes, or the dictator of your country now, because now it's a Reich and a dictatorship. It's over. This is what he thinks about. Do normal people think of reopening Alcatraz and how cool that would be, and the sharks swimming around and people being in misery and torture and possibly dying at the hands of a shark? Are those happy thoughts to you? If they are, you're not a Christian. Of people, being intentionally put in horrid situations like Alcatraz or in a swamp in Florida. Amazing. Again, this is what this human, if I can call him that, this entity, the Antichrist, your president, this is what he sits around and thinks about. How beautiful Alcatraz is. Who would say that but a sociopath? But a demon? But the Antichrist? Who would say that? Holy fuck, man. You're getting a window into his psyche. Death camps are cool. Wildlife killing people is cool. Cruelty is cool. That's the gospel being preached. It's been being preached since 2015. Great example. The president and the wife, the missus, they go visit, a detention camp, a concentration camp where they're separating children from their parents intentionally. And she's wearing a jacket that says, "I don't really care, do you?" When they crying at the lake, what am I supposed to say? What's God supposed to say? "I don't really care, do you?" They did it at a death camp where little children were being separated from their parents intentionally. I wonder if the same standard will be applied to them. I wonder. What do you think? Bots? He dreams of Alcatraz and reopening it on your dime, of course, because Donnie never pays for anything. And he posts that the day he did a presser at the death camp in Florida. Again, the amount of evil done per minute, done per day by these people, I've never seen anything like it. I don't know how any human in this country can have their name on it. I don't even understand it. We're like two different species. Donnie lied again at the death camp at the desk. Let's look at him again. About gas prices. Gasoline just hit $1.99 today. He's told this lie about 5 times over the past months. Today in 5 states, we just hit it. 5 states, $1.99, $1.98, and it's coming down to that level. Where? Which states? Trump is a pathological liar. Indeed. Where? Because never since he's been president have I seen $1.99 or $1.98 gas. The lowest I've seen is about $2.75. And that's back up now. It's not that anymore. Down here. That's in the Poe area. In the rich area, it's $4.39. They just gouge you. That should be fucking illegal, by the way. Gas one price a mile down the road, $1.50 more a gallon up the road a mile. That should be fucking illegal. So yeah, Donnie lied about gas prices again while he did the presser at the death camp with all the flags and symbols and MAGA hat. Here's them turning the death camp press event, you can tell by the tile floor, into a Hollywood red carpet event. This is America now. Look at those shiny suits and smiles. All destined for the fucking lake. Every damn one. Do you realize America is a place that does a red carpet event at a death camp in the swamp? Do you know that's what your country is now? Because they did it today. I just showed you the picture, right, son? Is this the fucking Hunger Games? Because it's starting to feel that way. What's next? We do a TV show at the death camp where we let escapees run through the swamp and see if they get eaten by alligators? Is that where we go with this? You satanic cunts? Because that's the next logical step, right, son? That'd be fun, right? Treating the opening of an immigrant detention camp in the middle of the Everglades as if it were a red carpet movie premiere in Hollywood. Indeed. That's what I just showed you. You want to see it again? Let me get it real big this time. Get a look at those smiles. Some bitch even crunched her way over there to get in that picture. You don't want to miss your public relations photo. Or your souvenir red carpet photo from the death camp. You wouldn't want to miss that opportunity, right, son? You'd even crutch your broken foot ass over there. That's how sick some of you are. Wow. That's incredible. Look at them all. They're all smiling. They're all loving it. Red carpet backdrop for photo ops. As if it's a red carpet event. You had that at a death camp today in the Everglades that you're paying for. Members of government and the Antichrist himself, the president, is making jokes about men being eaten by alligators. We have no idea how long these people will be there. We have no idea if it's for men, women, children, all family, what it's for. No one gives a fuck. And we have a red carpet backdrop as people, crutch their fucking way over. That's how desperate they are to get the picture. I didn't think I'd be saying this 5-6 months in. I figured it'd take a couple years to get to concentration camp territory, but robbery, greed. I should have known better. I should have known better that the military would refuse the orders. I should have known. Humanity's given me no reason to believe otherwise. So why would I believe otherwise? I mean, this pretty much says it all. Let's look at it again. Red carpet photo op at a death camp in the Everglades. As we mock people possibly being eaten by alligators. And by we, I mean the Reich, the DHS secretary, the president. And Miss Levitt gives glowing speeches about the new death camp at the podium. Damn, this is going fast. I'm even impressed. Here's Donnie, it looks like on the plane or something. I don't know. Trump criticized Bush for invading the Middle East, saying he should not have gone into the Middle East and blown the place up. Donnie has bombed Somalia. Donnie has bombed Yemen. Donnie has bombed Iran. So that's how seriously you should take the man of peace talking about how Bush should have never went to the Middle East. I agree. We should have never went to the Middle East. We really didn't achieve much. I hope we got some oil out of it or fucking something. But Donnie's not saying that as someone who has the right to criticize, because, again, he was a total warmonger when he first came to office last time until Ann Coulter shamed him. Now he's a, warmonger again as he puts his hand out every 3 seconds for the Nobel. Again, what are we, a week and a half out on bombing Iran? So again, Donnie has bombed 3 countries so far that I know of as he critiques Bush entering the Middle East and dropping bombs. What would Donnie be? What would the Antichrist be without hypocrisy? He wouldn't be much, would he? He wouldn't say much, would he? This is a ballsy question, and it looks like it's on the plane. You spent a lot of time with Noam today. Did you discuss this report about an $80,000 dark money payment she received in 2023 and appears to have kept off her federal disclosure? In other words, did you know Noam was a crook? Trump, no, you're telling me this for the first time. Now he's heard about this, I'm sure. I think she's done an amazing job. Who are you with? Goes right into dictator mode. We may want to seek retribution against you in the future. You brought up Miss Noam, the person who's opening up my death camps for me. You critiqued her. You accused her of something. We may want to come after you. But Donnie, the Washington Examiner. Good paper, actually. Thank you. I wasn't expecting that. But, when the Reich or Der Fuhrer says, who are you with? We all know what that means. We may want to come after you in the future. Who were you with that asked that question? You critique the Reich? Right to dictator mode. Instinctively. That's what the fuck you've done. If you have your name on it. Here's Noam in the picture with Donnie. Noam says the government is going to prosecute CNN for allegedly promoting the Ice Block app. Trump adds that he wants to prosecute CNN for pushing false reports about the U.S. strike on Iran. This is what authoritarianism looks like, Rubes. Literally. Because that's all I hear here when I watch the videos. All I hear is Adolf Hitler going after the press. That's all I hear. Since 2015, press is the enemy of the people. Pure Nazi Adolf Hitler move from day one. 10 years later, same thing. Now they got the authority to lock them up and the sycophants in place to do it. And some journalists will be locked up. Don't worry. We're going there. We've already gotten to the concentration camps. We're going there. They're going to open more. They've already talked about it. Yeah, we're going to that place that you never thought was possible. It is possible, and you made it happen if your name is on it. Congratulations. This is them by the cages again. Aren't they beautiful? The puppy killer, Donnie, with his campaign hat. I think the puppy killer had a campaign hat on, too. Cages. Isn't it great? The Antichrist standing next to the new cages, doing a press conference with the puppy killer. Wow, this is amazing. America's going in a great direction, I must say. It's not a dystopian nightmare at all. And here's Miss Gnome sitting at the table with Donnie. She's giving a little statement. This facility is exactly what I want every single governor in the country to consider doing with us. What's that called, class? That's called opening up a system of concentration camps all across the United States, any governor that's willing. That's what that's called. Five months in, that's where we at. Donnie and the puppy killer openly saying, yeah, we want more camps. Every governor should have one of these. Remember that crazy guy in the sunglasses day one of this presidency saying where all this was going to go? Calling it a Reich. Saying there were Nazis. Do you remember that guy? I've been telling you night after night, way before this point. Yeah, it's going to that place, that Nazi, dystopian, satanic nightmare. With the camps and the whole thing, Nazi salutes, the whole fucking thing. Donnie says he wants a system of these camps. Miss Gnome, who's in charge of this, spending your money like it's fucking nothing. This facility is exactly what I want every single governor in the country to consider doing with us. Who would have thought, again, America would get to a place where a con man and a puppy killer were in charge, and they would float the idea out loud in front of people while at a death camp, while at a concentration camp that just opened in the swamp. They'd be talking about, right in your face, opening one in every state. Wow. I mean, we go in full Reich, full Adolf here. That's all you can call it. And I wonder what sad, pathetic argument will you make against us to justify this so you can sleep at night? Amazing how far gone our country already is, and it's never coming back. It is just so gone. Donnie's talking about when he endorses someone. On the plane again. I oppose somebody, and for some reason the voters almost always seem to go along with me because they know I'm working hard. I have a nice high IQ. They like that, you know? We like high IQ people. That's why we have the hat. Trump was right about everything. Yes, he actually said this. I'll just leave that alone. He's high IQ. And the hat, you know, the hat that the rubes and sheep that walk around like zombies. Mother! They put the hat on. Or they put the mark on their forehead. However you'd like to look at it. Do you have concerns about the Medicaid cuts? This is out on the tarmac with DeSantis, it looks like. Do you have concerns about the Medicaid cuts, though? No, we're not going to be playing with Medicaid. Yeah, they're literally going to play with Medicaid. Reporter, 11.8 million Americans could lose their coverage. Are you breaking your promise? Trump, waste, fraud, and abuse. And the rubes, hear that? Waste, fraud, and abuse. Take it away from me. I beg you, dear leader, take it all away. And that waste, fraud, and abuse phrase, they can go to sleep at night with their name on evil, and they have the talking point when someone brings up the fact that they're evil and they have their name on evil. They just say waste, fraud, and abuse. So sad that's all it takes for your rights and programs to be taken away. Oh, this person is reminding us, don't forget that the Senate bill passed is giving Trump $1 billion to fix that Qatari plane that he's taking with him when and if he leaves the White House. Why does it need to go to the Trump library if it's Air Force One for the president? I don't understand. Oh, it's a grift. It's a bribe. I forgot. A personal gift to Donnie. Otherwise, he'd leave it for the next president. Right, Rubes? When I looked at the bill, there was $1.5 billion allocated to fix up the bribe plane. Your money. Of course, Donnie doesn't pay for that shit. You do. So when I saw the $1.5 billion figure, I've been throwing a figure at you for a while. I estimated, yeah, it'll cost about $2 billion to fix that thing up. 1.5. My real estimate with Donnie, he's going to be Caesar. He's going to be God of the world. He'll want some extras. I'm saying $2.5 billion to fix this thing up. Your money. Personal gift to Donnie. If Biden was doing it, you'd burn the fucking country down. And you know it. Again, that tells the rest of us you believe in nothing, you stand for nothing. It's just team sports. Or you just like evil. If Obama dared take a plane and said, yeah, you're gonna pay for it, I'm gonna put $1.5 billion in a bill and give tax cuts to the rich. And have you pay for my new Sky Mansion. You people would burn, you rubbing shit on the Capitol walls again. You know it. That's how I know you stand for nothing and you believe in nothing. Here's the White House account itself. Look at this. Look what they put out. Good, wholesome Republican, conservative, family values, Jesus stuff. There's ICE alligators. There's Donnie Shitbags Trump. And it says, Alligator Alcatraz, make America safe again. Yes, concentration camps in the swamp and across the country, they'll make us safe, and they won't be for you at all, son. Don't worry. The Reich always knows exactly where to stop. They would never throw you in one. I'm sure they said that in 1932 in Germany. Or 1934 or 33 or 35 or... You know the poem. First they came for the liberals or trade unionists, then they came for the Jews, and when they came for me, there was no one left to speak for me. Yeah, that's where this is going. I told you that a long time ago. The concentration camp, the advertisement for the concentration camp by the literal White House account with Donnie's picture on it, as if it's the most wonderful thing ever, as if it's not purely of Satan. That should tell you where you're at. That should tell you where this is going. This isn't remotely normal. It's not remotely sane. It's not remotely of God or Jesus or good. It's pure horror of Satan. Get your name off, son. But I ain't here to save you. I'm here to guide you through it, so. White House put that out. Did I say that? The alligators with the ice hats. The White House. Here's Gavin Newsom. Donald Trump caved. Our firefighters are finally returning to fight wildfires. Better late than never. Now send the rest home. Nearly 5,000 soldiers, including police, paramedics, and first responders, are still sitting idle in LA for nothing in the Reich. Again, there ain't no riots, son. Is you asking yourself, why is there troops on the street? No, you ain't asking that? Don't worry, they'll be on your street next. Maybe you'll ask then. Task Force 51 will release approximately 150 members of the National Guard to do firework. And this just shows that the Reich doesn't give a fuck about forest fires. It gives a fuck about subjugating you. And if you think it'll stop at California, or you're wrong. It already went to Texas. It's coming to Florida. It went to Nebraska. What does that tell you, son? When there's troops on the streets and there's no fucking riots. Active duty Marines, son. What does that tell you? Where's this going? There's no one throwing Molotov cocktails, jerk off. Where's this going? They just got them standing there, holding their dicks and their machine guns. Why would somebody do that? Oh, because they want to subjugate you, dumbass. But 150 are allowed to go fight fires because, and again, that shows you what the priority for the Reich is. Oh, we want to keep this subjugation guard in place. Just give them 150 because, you know, otherwise we'll look like more like hypocrites than we already do. I heard so many Second Amendment patriots over the years said if they ever tried to pull this bullshit, guess what I'm going to do? Little did they know they were the hand of Satan and the Reich up until the maximum expression of the evil they put their name on over and over and over again. Now they got to pay the bill. Now the drone's going to be coming to their compound, and it ain't going to be the liberals sending them. Rube, with the Nancy Pelosi doll in the back. Here we go. Donnie's trying to tell Leon, like, look, you knew I was a snake before you invited me in. You knew I was a leopard. Now I'm eating your face and you're surprised. Leon Scum knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It is ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. Leon may get more subsidy than any human being in history. By far and without subsidies. I've already read this. No rockets, no satellites, no electric car production. Our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Doge take a good hard look at this. Big money to be saved. Indeed, I already talked about that. Here's the new Ice Block app. Lets users anonymously drop pins and share real-time sightings of ICE agents. I personally have never used it. I have a feeling I'm safe in this area. This is Donnie country. His Mar-a-Lago is close by. He ain't trying to do too many raids around here. Definitely not his properties, Rubes. That should tell you how important the, illegal issue is to Donnie shitbags. No, he just knows you Rubes like it. And he gets to continue to grift and steal your country from you. Steal your treasure. That's all it is. Otherwise, he would have been the first to clear out his own companies of those nasty, terrible murderers, rapists, and blah, blah, fucking blah, illegals, right? Right, Rubes? But he doesn't do that. He sends the guys in masks and machine guns to, like, liberal areas. So it must be about something else, huh? So yeah, people can communicate and let people know where ICE is at any given moment. I think it's a great idea. What's wrong with it? Everybody else like making lists, keeping track of people. What's the problem? Public servants, right? What's the problem? What do you need the mask for? What do you need the machine gun for? What do you need the full tactical gear for? Oh, you're being groomed and conditioned to turn on your people, your fellow citizens. You already have in many ways. I consider you a traitor to your nation. Every bounty hunter, ICE agent with a mask and a machine gun, because all it is a way to condition all of us and you. What? Well, you're the Judas that turns on your fellow citizens. That's going to the lake. That's you. The rest of us, we get to watch as men in machine guns. That's you, the lake fodder. Turn on your own people in service of the Reich. So, I think, whatever. What's the problem here? Why don't you want people to know who you are? I lost my place. Hold on. Yes, the new Ice Block app. I'm sure many will use it. And, the Reich, any kind of app or anything like that, they're going to try and prosecute people. I'm sure they already want to prosecute CNN because they talked about some app, I guess, that has to do with ICE. People are going to do things like that to try and protect the community. Why? Because men in masks and machine guns and full tactical gear and vans pull up to Home Depots, restaurants, homes, whatever, and grab people. Bounty hunters in masks with no law enforcement experience that are just straight scumbags are grabbing people for the money. They're paying per body, son. It's a business now. It's a racket, just like these death camps are, these private-run death camps. Prisons across our country. For-profit industry. If you don't have bodies in the cells, you don't make no money. Can't charge the government. That's what DeSantis and the boys are going to do down there. $1 million something a day they're going to charge. That's how stupid you are. For some theater. As people who put that right in their pockets, your money. Because you're a dumbass. Because you hate people. Because persecution and cruelty is fun to you. You're going to see how fun that is in the next place. But right now, it's fun to you. The Pentagon has halted the transfer of some munitions promised to Ukraine due to concerns that the U.S. stockpile is running low. Now, I'm sorry, Rubes. Anyone out there that's over 3 years old, the U.S. stockpile never runs low, son. We are the land of weapons. Do you hear me? Weapons are a religion here. And our military budget is a religion as well, and it's treated as such. Donnie about to put $1 trillion on that shit. More than ever before. A country that spends, like we do, class, on the military more than anyone by far. For many decades. They never run out of weapons. They never get low. That does not happen. We are the land of weapons manufacturers. We don't run low on weapons. This is Donnie Krasnoff being Donnie Krasnoff, let's be honest. That's all it is. Donnie Krasnoff showing you that he's Donnie Krasnoff. I don't know why they just don't drop the facade and send troops to help flat out fight Ukraine, because that's where it's going. Or weapons or whatever. I don't know what the facade is for. Everyone knows he's a Russian asset. Everyone knows why he alienated our enemies. He did that to make Russia our only, ally. Because that's who he serves. For now. Everybody else can fuck off. So we all know why the promised weapons aren't going to Ukraine, let's be honest. It has nothing to do with a low stockpile. In America, son? People marry their firearms in this country. Fuck you talking about? We ain't low on jack shit. In fact, there's a little too much going around, honestly. 2 firemen just got killed because guns and owning them and shooting them, assault rifles specifically. That's a religion. And that kid was raised in that way. I seen the pictures of him posing with his parents and other people with the assault rifle. Different ages. That's taught to your children. That's taught as a religion. 2 firemen are dead because of that religion. A CEO got whacked on the sidewalk because of that religion. 2 Democratic lawmakers and their families were executed because of that religion. Well, 2 of them lived, 2 of them died. Isn't it great? Your children get mowed down in your schools. And it's still a religion. Amazing. The stubbornness, the stupidity, the Satan that's in there, all of it. They will call good evil and evil good. Here's another weird meteor that just fell out of fucking nowhere in the daytime. I'm not used to seeing these. This happened near Sweden. It was yellowish and blue. It looked fake. It looked like a movie or something, but it's real. And yeah, I posted the link to the video. You should watch it. It's very short, and it's one of the most amazing meteors I've ever seen in the daytime on any piece of footage, anything, a movie. The color of it, the yellowish, and it had blue, and again, an odd trajectory like the other one. I don't know. It just caught my eye. That's all. Another angle of meteorite bolide across Åland Islands and Sweden's archipelago. I don't know where the fuck that is, but that's where it happened. One of the most clear and vivid and bright meteors in the daytime I've ever fucking seen, and I've never actually seen one with a naked eye in the daytime. This one looks pretty big, though, for it to put this off and to be this visible in daylight. Must have been a nice chunk, right? This is Jim Stewartson commenting on the new death camp. Here's the picture. He's commenting on, the cages, the 9 to a cell or whatever it is in the swamp in Florida. Dear rest of the world, this is the groundbreaking of Dachau, 1933. The Reich is just getting started. Oh, he's calling it the Reich, just like I do. Help us make sure it doesn't end up like the last time. We'll do our best from in here, thanks. He's telling the world, we're a Reich now. This is Dachau. There's going to be more, and we're just at the beginning of full Reich. Saying the rest of the world, can we get some help? Because we're going to need it, and we'll do the best we can inside here. The thing is about this, again, people, and again, I take no pleasure saying this, this is going to go global. No one's safe. I knew that the second he won again, where this was all going to go. And yes, Americans will suffer first, and it will be here first, but it's coming everywhere. The annexation of half the world talk was not for nothing. I expect Europe to be invaded by Russia at some point. I expect Donnie to help out against NATO and Europe and all that. Maybe he won't say he is. When all this shit jumps off, when they make their big moves, one of the moves will be Vlad invades Europe proper. That's what I expect. Donnie will make his move somewhere. Who knows? A big war and many leaders making a move all at the same time to make it more chaotic and successful. So Europe, I'd be prepared to fight the United States and Russia, or one of those two. Greenland, I'd prepare for your shit to get annexed. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I don't want it. I didn't put my name on it. Canada, I expect them to use the military against you. Mexico, Central America, all of it. Vlad will make a move as well. As they're building this kingdom over here, Vlad will attempt to build his further over there. What the Chinese are going to do, I'm not sure yet. Maybe they'll just take over all of Asia. China specifically. Maybe that's their kingdom. So yes, this is the opening of Dachau, 1933. That's where you're at. I have a feeling it's not going to go 12 years like it did with Hitler, though. Just a feeling I have. I'm not saying God told me that or something. Again, 5 or 6 months in, groundbreaking on the American concentration camp. And Noam and Donnie say they want him across the country. And, Donnie said maybe we can make this a system. Isn't that a great idea, little children? A system of concentration camps. What does that sound like? And back then they said they're only targeting this one group at first as well. Then they added everybody. And it was the ruin of the country. That was the core of the Reich. So where is this going, Rubes? Since you like to repeat history like true morons. Same place. You're watching the fall of your empire. People like Jim Stewartson and me are trying to tell you, yeah, this is a concentration camp. You're in the middle of the Reich now. It's already over. And, we're trying to let you know where you're at. Trying to guide you through it. Here's Donnie on Gaza. My representatives had a long and productive meeting with the Israelis today on Gaza. Israel has agreed to take the necessary conditions to finalize the 60-day ceasefire, during which time we will work with all parties to end the war. The Qataris and Egyptians, who have worked very hard to help bring peace, will deliver the final proposal. I wonder if the Qataris and the Egyptians are the ones who are going to take the Palestinians. That's the vibe I'm getting here. I hope for the good of the Middle East that Hamas takes this deal, because it will not get better. It will only get worse. That's in all caps. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The cunt antichrist, of course, has to write that. What I find interesting, again, is he's been doing this Man of Peace Act. He's partially doing the Man of Peace Act here, and then the abject threat at the bottom. It will only get worse, in all caps. In other words, we're going to kill you. So I don't know how one asks for the Nobel when they write things like this and bomb multiple countries and talk about, going after Hamas as well. And again, remember what Donnie said about Gaza. We're going to own it. If any other president had ever said that, there'd be riots across the Muslim world. There'd be shit getting bombed. We all know it. For some reason, when Donnie says it, Vlad doesn't finance the terror groups. They don't come out and protest. Even after you bomb Iran. Isn't it incredible? It's almost as if it's, what's that word? Supernatural. So Donnie mentions the Qataris and the Egyptians specifically, and I have a feeling they've made a deal to take some Palestinians. That's why Donnie's mentioning them. And he's also saying, I want peace, but I'll go after you again, or I'll sick BB on you again. I've got a resort to build. And again, the commercial people. The AI-generated, very highly financed commercial of Trump Gaza. They showed you the facade of the resort. They showed you BB and Donnie chilling on the pool deck. Leon eating food by himself because no one can stand him. They showed the gold Donnie statues on the Holy Land. They showed the gold Donnie trinkets being sold by street vendors. They showed the money raining from the sky on little Palestinian children. How's that going to work when you remove them all? Are you going to bring them back? You saw all that. Again, none of that's normal. That's way over the top. In many ways, spiritually, it's the Holy Land, son. Mentally, ideologically, Donnie trying to make the peace deal that no one can make between the Arab world and the Israelis. I have a feeling he'll make it, or he'll say he made it. Just like the story says. Here's someone commenting on Skeletor. Miss Levitt. A Canadian. I prefer to live in a country where alligator Alcatraz doesn't even exist as a concept, and where a fascist cunt like KKK Caroline Levitt isn't anywhere near a government podium. Indeed, I choose a country like that as well. That sounds really good. Doesn't even exist as a concept. I like that idea. The fact that it does exist as a concept is purely of Satan and the Reich, and you're cool with it when it shouldn't even be a concept. That's how far over the line into evil you are. You're not just a toe over, son. You're so far over the line, you man or woman of Jesus. You're so far over the line where you're preaching a gospel of, oh yeah, it's funny when immigrants get eaten by alligators, when they're running from the death camp in the swamp. It's great when Miss Levitt talks about the death camp at the podium in glowing terms. It's great when Donnie does the press conference from the death camp and they tour it and they make jokes. What I'm trying to say, son, is you don't even know how lost you are. Oh my God, you're so lost. But don't worry, as long as you go to church on Sunday, you'll be just fine. Again, someone commenting, and they look Canadian. They got a Canadian flag. I don't know why. Just happened to pick a few Canadians, I guess. And they're talking about President Trump leaves for alligator Auschwitz. And that's a Chiron on Fox News. Isn't it great that your tax money went to the president going to Auschwitz? If you call yourself a Christian and you chuckle at the idea of brown people being chased by alligators, here's a newsflash. You are not a fucking Christian. Yep. But again, we're in the era of calling evil good and good evil, right? Right? That's how far over the line away from reality you people are at in the cult. You're not even close to reality anymore. You're so far in your cult bubble of insanity, and it is a literal insanity. Some people that were in cults had to be deprogrammed mentally because they got to the point where they instinctually reacted to the cult however the cult wanted them to act, to the point they had to be deprogrammed psychologically. You people have an illness. You're saying people being eaten by alligators is good. Your president going to alligator Auschwitz is good. Your money paying for it is good. Way over the line of decency and Christ, my son. Way over. And again, when I say these things to you people, I'm not trying to sit here and say I'm perfect, but what I am trying to sit here and say is, at least I didn't put my fucking name on the Antichrist or death camps. One thing I can say to my Creator when he goes to throw me in the lake: I didn't take the mark, Lord. Can I get some brownie points for that? I didn't follow Satan. I didn't worship the Antichrist. That seems to be a big deal with God, because if you do, you're just done. There's no forgiveness, nothing. Despite the work Jesus did for you. One more time, I want to read this. If you call yourself a Christian and you chuckle at the idea of brown people being chased by alligators, here's a newsflash: you are not a fucking Christian. Yes. So almost the entirety of the church went along with this entity called the Antichrist, and you're still on board, I suggest you get your churches the fuck out. Pastors, reverends, whatever you call yourself. Because there's one place it ends, and you know, pastors that have an education in this area, you know it ends in the abyss, and you know who this is, and you know what this is, but it's on your team, so you're going along. You best get off the team no matter what it costs you, because what it's going to cost you as you preach every fucking Sunday about salvation, it's going to cost you your salvation, son. And all the people you advise to go along, by the way, because you're in a position of power over your congregants. They listen to you. They respect you. You say vote a certain way. Vote your conscience, whatever. You promote the gospel of Satan, basically. Vote right wing, even though they're the opposite of Christ in every fucking way feasible, possible. You're responsible for that, preaching that message. Now you have the maximum expression. And it's the Antichrist, and it's on your team. I suggest, again, you tell your congregation to take their name off it, and you take your name and church's name off of it. Just a suggestion. Oh, that's the end. Good place to end. The hypocrites that made the apocalypse happen, that have their name on it. The hypocrites that are going to follow Donnie to the abyss. As they preached again, as they preached Jesus their whole life. I'll just say this and then I'll get the hell out of here. Today, the dictator of America opened a new detention center concentration camp in the swamp in Florida. We have no idea how long the people will be held there. We already got a death camp in El Salvador that people never leave. Financed with your money. This camp is financed with your money. He and his anorexic secretary want to put one of those camps in every state. They did a press conference and had a red carpet photo shoot area. They talked about and laughed about people being eaten by alligators. It's promoted by the White House. Alligators with hats on, going after illegals. Donnie talked about, again, deporting American citizens. Said it out loud. Said it with Bukele, deporting the homegrowns. Next up is the homegrowns. And they laughed. Again, I think we all know where this is going. And if this don't, you don't hear alarm bells at what I just described to you, I don't know what to tell you, man. Anyway, I got to get going. As always, anyone that would like to help out, I'm going to put the PayPal at the top of the comment section. Please help out if you can. I would really appreciate it. I devote a lot of time and work and effort into this, and it's costing me. So I'd appreciate it if you find value to help out. I would really appreciate that. And to those of you that have, thank you so much. You don't even know what you've done. How grateful I am. Until the next episode of The Apocalypse, have a wonderful evening.